deal. Again, like you said, the Moxley and company, riders of the New Purple Sage whole thing, they walked through the one side of the arena with people in it. And it was everybody but Claudio. You got Wheeler, you got Pac, you got Marina Shafir, and the plumber himself. And then here comes Light Switch Jay White, and then they gave Pockets the second entrance after Jay White. And then poor Jay White would be like, what the fuck? Even he's got to realize that he's been fucked in his company. They brought him in and tried to push him without success and for obvious reasons as a top heel. But he and Juice as a tag team could have been entertaining for fucking weeks, but we hardly ever got that. Then one or the other one's been hurt, and then they bring him back out of nowhere. Now he's a babyface, and he enters before the fucking mascot, and he's left on his face every fucking week. So Plumber and Pac versus Light Switch and Pockets, and that's the way they started the show. And we were, by the time they were done with this, we're gonna be about 25 minutes into the fucking thing. But they immediately the 4-way into the floor, surprise. Nobody ever starts a match here like that. They stay on the floor in a 4-way, doing almost nothing for 3 minutes, and then they cut the ring, and the referee rings the bell to start the match.
That was awkward. When he also rang the bell, the place was silent. What?
Well, yes, because we thought that had happened a while back because they've been fighting for fucking ever. What is the matter with the people in the wrestling business? Act like they've never been in the wrestling business before. They don't know how it works, what the rules are, what the fuck you do.
Wingfield Estate has been a property in my...
Dude. And then Moxley and White traded chops. I have observations, not play-by-play, because this is ridiculous. Moxley genuinely believes that he is the toughest man on the face of the planet.
That's right.
And somebody has to. There's got to be one person, and he's it. But are you seeing now the gyrations and the twitches and the muscle spasms he's going through to try to look like some kind of unhinged psycho serial killer?
Well, there's that, and when we talk about it, we'll talk about his promos. It's like he really has a lot he wants to say, but none of it makes any sense. None of it goes anywhere. What is he talking about? He gets amped up, and then he slows down, and he's a mess. And this is all him.
Well, no, this match also, some of it with Pockets is embarrassing in his work and his appearance and everything, but he's supposed to be a joke. But Moxley is in there in his own way looking and working just as badly, and he's supposed to be the world champion. But then the mascot's getting 2 counts on the world champion. And the fans were just, at one point they were sitting there, they were kind of staring in silence or whatever. And then on the screen they got a shot of Christian Cage and his bunch in the skybox, and that got a pop in the middle of the match going on. Because they were like, oh, hey, somebody we might like somehow. So, none of these people, or nobody in this match, knows how to fucking set up or execute a fucking hot tag. They got heat on Pockets, and then Pockets super kicked Moxley, and they both staggered phony without going off their feet, really. And Pockets just turned around and cold tagged White, and Moxley cold tagged Pac at the same time. But then Pockets had tagged while he was standing on his feet, but then he rolled out on the floor and laid there like he'd been shot by a cannon. Well, White made his comeback, but then the 2 heels took over on White, and then fucking idiot is still laying on the ground. Oh, Christ. But when they're actually in the ring beating on him, they put him through a goddamn table, and he'd be up on his feet in 15 seconds. But when he stands up and tags out, suddenly his goddamn respirator fucking quits functioning. To the break. And then they came back, they got heat on fucking White. Now we got a second set of heat. And it's long. And I just started skipping ahead at double speed to the end to see, will it ever end? And then we got 2 more simultaneous cold tags. And then they traded forearms. Every goddamn match is the fucking same thing. And then they did a spot, now talking about Pockets and Moxley. They did a spot where somehow Moxley finally took a bump for this fucking idiot. And then he hits the ropes, Pockets does, and comes running for the big wind-up, the big football kick. He's going to punt Moxley's head off. And he whipped right past him. And Moxley sold that. He won't sell being hit by a goddamn mid-sized late model SUV, but if you fucking swing your foot within a foot of his head, he'll sell it. And it was so bad, he went, oh goddamn, who'd they have on Cully? It may have been Nigel, the Nigel with half a mind, said, well, I don't know if he got him full force.
It may have been the wind.
If he had tried to just sneak it in, it would have been so bad, but he hit the ropes and he ran 10 feet and he drew way back and he kicked right past him with everybody's attention on it. God damn it. Okay, I said we weren't going to have too much fun making fun of it, but this shit, I said there was exception. And then I wrote this will not end because they did some more, and Pockets was hitting everybody with those buggy whip arms of his that, quote Jerry Lawler in 1975, looked like mosquito bites on a strand of spaghetti. And then suddenly they're having a man, Pockets is going to fucking hit Moxley with another one of Roman Reigns' finishing moves. And suddenly, out of nowhere, Hangnail Adam Page just tackles Moxley and gets on top of him and starts hitting his own forearm and Moxley's forearm and a lot of fake punches in the area of Moxley's head. But Pockets he's shocked at all this. So he turns Page around and Page and Pockets gets in a fight with a guy that just tackled the guy that had been kicking the shit out of Pockets. But then Jay White gets mad at Page and he and Page start having a fight. But Pockets is still up, so Pockets goes to Superman punch Moxley, and Moxley moves out of the way and Pockets hits White instead, but he actually missed him again. By the way, I double dog dare anybody. You ain't got no hair on your balls, as Bobby Eaton used to say. If all of you out there who have the capability that the DVR gives you of slow motion, I could hand out $1,000 every time that fucking Orange Cassidy's fist came anywhere near a motherfucker's face on that goddamn fly swatter fucking Roman Reigns finish ripoff that he does, and I'd still be a wealthy man. He misses it every time. So Pockets Superman punched White, his partner in this thing, accidentally when Moxley moved, but then Pockets Superman punched Page, the guy that ran in apparently to help his team, And then White grabbed Pockets, who was his partner in this thing, and gave Pockets his finish. And then while everybody was down in the ring except for Moxley, who had left and had rolled out on the floor with the other heels, everybody was down. The fans were staring. And then Moxley and all his heels rolled back in and kicked the shit out of all the baby faces who were laying there, having just kicked the shit out of each other.
And the fans did not want to see more of the Moxley beatdown stuff, so they groaned audibly.
Yes, and then they're doing, and finally the fans came back with "fuck you, Yuta, fuck you." Yeah, that's a fucking flunky in this, and he's like, "I want to say fuck you to him." This was the biggest goddamn mess I've ever seen in my life.
I know you've been seeing all the news about the crazy stuff these celebrities are doing at those parties with the baby oil.